straight up savage.
I try to read the defenses, controlling the game.
Don't tap that glass, don't tap that glass, there's a monster in it.
He's giving us flashes of boom, boom, boom. The ooh and ah.
Huh? Bling, 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 bow.
No, he didn't.
There's that step back.
The step back, see what the defense do.
Don't tap that glass, baby, don't tap that glass.
Well, on Monday, Luka was the engine for the Lakers, right? He scored or assisted on 45 of the Lakers' 100 points. LeBron added 18 on an efficient 7 of 13 from the field to go along with 5 rebounds, 5 assists. And the Lakers, now they're on a 6-game winning streak. And tonight, LeBron, KD, they square off once again here. Now, Wednesday, today is going to be the 32nd time that LeBron and Kevin Durant have met in the regular season in their careers. And this one's even more historic because they have over 75,000 regular season points combined. That is the most for any two opposing players all time. But that's not what they're going to be looking at. Tonight decides the season series. Janae is wearing Rockets red. She knows it.
Just sorry for a low.
KD said, we haven't even started, guys. KD said he's the offense, right? Just gonna look at Shump. Shump is the adult in the room, and that is saying something. But the offense was really tested on Monday. What adjustments do you want to see KD and the Rockets make here?
Well, for KD, I think it's knowing that double team's coming, or you might see it. Not having Goonie the other day, that kind of hurt him. I saw him doing. It wasn't that the turnovers that he was having. It was that they were unaggressive turnovers. Turnovers that had nothing to do with making a play. It's just trying to understand what to do with the double team. KD knows he should never have done that, but, at least he went in that press conference and cleaned it up. I expect a really aggressive start for him tonight.
Yeah, look, I agree, but KD also, he can't be the primary ball handler, right? And he got to put himself in position. Ime has to put himself in position and put him at that damn nail where he can't be double. If Alman Thompson and those guys can't bring the damn ball up, and just watch right here. Here you go right here, prime example. KD moving without the ball. Right here, the little drive circle action. All of a sudden he cuts, he gets to his spot right at the nail. He's knocking that down. And then we take another action right here. Set a little screen, fighting for position. All of a sudden, they set another one. He gets the switch. He plants his feet in the ground. And all of a sudden, you can't double right here. Nope. Look at the space.
Channel drill.
You got one man in the corner. Now, all of a sudden, KD go to work. Quick spin, rises over the top. He's 6'11", 7 foot, 7'1", whatever it is. And then you know this butter. So, again, stop bringing up the ball. They're going to send a double. They're going to fire every single time. Get the man at the nail and let him go to work.
But he also got to do the straight line drives. Like, even if you see a double team coming, I know KD knows. You see the double team coming, the closeout man coming, attack that man. Attack that man, Joe. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
I'm going to bring it both together because what you said, Shump, is so true. It's not just the double team. It's where you're getting doubled and the catch. Because Nikola Jokic, he always gets double team, but he's on the three-point line. On your plays, KD was on the three-point line before he was getting doubled. Once they bum rushed him at half court, that has to be an adjustment. Reed Shepard, Amen Thompson, and then also, most importantly, Alperen Sengun. I was on SportsCenter when Tim McMahon shared that he's likely to play.
He's back.
Alperen Sengun, he is back. That's important because he can also bring the ball up.
Right.
But they just got to fight back. The Rockets have to fight back.
He provides an outlet for the double team, right? He's a good passer, and he can make the next pass, and that's something that the Houston Rockets didn't have last outing.
Yeah, the biggest question was decision-making when KD released the ball, and it was just questionable. But Alperen Sengun, he is someone that we have compared to greats when it comes to passing. But on the other side, honestly, you guys, I was very impressed with the Lakers defense. Now, I know it's a small sample size, and we're seeing the guys warm up right now.
Yeah, this was today, and Alperen Sengun not on the injury report. So as Tim McMahon mentioned, good to go in this one. So it's good to see him out in that practice footage. But yeah, the Lakers side of all of this, they are on a 6-game winning streak, and we were talking about the fact that it's kind of a real winning streak at this point.
It's okay, so two things. One, defensively, this was impressive. Not only to force Kevin Durant to have 7 turnovers and have a strategy that worked, but over, I think, the last 10 or so games, the Lakers have had, I think, like the 6th best defense in this span compared to where they are in the year, which is 20th. So finally, they're getting the buy-in, not just when it comes to defense, but also it seems like they're kind of accepting their roles because they've shifted to where LeBron James has not really gotten to the last, 25 or 27 points. It's like been more 20, and that might be better for Luka and Austin Reaves?
Well, to be honest with you, J.J. Redick is coaching his ass off. I give him a lot of heat, but I'm going to give him his flowers right now, too, as well. When you talk about guys buying into their roles, when you look at a LeBron James right now, he has accepted his role of being the third primary ball handler to Luka and Austin Reaves. That's why he's leading the league in transition points. Because now he's saying, you know what? Y'all handle the rock. I'm going to get out on the break and receive these outlet passes.
Who better to have receiving those passes than LeBron James?
Right.
And you know what I like about this? The question for the Lakers that I have, right? Of course, every time you see a run like this, you wonder about, okay, but how is it going to translate when it matters most? How is it going to translate to the playoffs?
That's the thing.
Right, and this type of mini-series where you play a team twice, back-to-back, I have questions about how their defense holds up.
They'll beat them, Malika.
Straight games.
They'll beat them. The problem is they're still in the second round, and it's not a big knock on them because they're just looking up to OKC and the Spurs.
Hold on, Perk. Okay.
All right, let's get to some women's hoops.
Wait, but can we make a further assessment after this next game when Şengün plays?
Okay.
Thank you.
So the next word has to be bet.
We don't run around the studio.
All right, the USA women, let's get to this.
I know our producer mad as hell.
Wrapped up qualifying yesterday. You guys, perfect 5-0, right? Here's how their final matchup went.
To go to the NBA, where the Lakers can match their longest win streak of the season tonight in Houston at 9:30 Eastern on ESPN. LA's six-game streak has been moving up the standings. The Lakers were sixth in the West after their most recent loss, which came on March 5th. LA is now in the third spot. They're 4.5 games
Now Kentucky's a different team than they were in November, but that was an absolute boat race by Gonzaga. So Santa Clara's been tested. They can play with Kentucky. I think this is a 1 or 2 possession game. I still think Kentucky gets it done, but I would be that's a 2 for me. That would make me really worried.
Just to follow up on that, and then John, you can follow up since you like this out of all the games that we're going to talk about here. When you mention they can play with Kentucky, I think people always assume mid-major, small school, they want to slow it down, play half court, and kind of ring it out. But the Broncos can actually play a little more up-tempo if they're given the opportunity. We may see that against the Wildcats in this game.
Top 25 in the nation in turnover, defensive turnover percentage. The top 20 in the nation in steals. And so if Kentucky's trying to play chaotic, that goes very well for Santa Clara. That's the worry, is that it's not just about shot making for Santa Clara, which they do have. They are a very good defensive team, but a different style than that, like St. Mary's, physical, slow, aggressive. They're getting deflection, steals, full court press. They're out in passing lanes. They're trying to get up and go. You mentioned up tempo. That doesn't come for them because they have to play fast. That comes from them on the defensive side, where they can turn defense into offense.
John, I'll give you final word before we move on here.
LeBron James as the third option, not a role player, but the third option. This is the first time in his career that he's had 15 or fewer shot attempts in 7 straight games. But LeBron is thriving in that role. He's not a big player. He's averaging more than 19 points, almost 7 assists per game, shooting 57% from the floor in that stretch. Most importantly, the Lakers have won 6 of those 7 games. And it's one thing to say he's bought in. For him to say it, it's another thing to show it. When LeBron's diving on the floor late in that win against the Nuggets for a loose ball, you don't have to wonder whether he's balling in.
You're right. And also, obviously, his experience of playing with the Heat, seeing what D-Wade did, taking the back seat, and that helped to lead them to a title. And also, the Lakers have been playing some defense. Let's go. Today, over the last 10 games, they ranked 6th in defensive efficiency.
I think there's a lot of people that are going to sleep on High Point. I think High Point's offense really kind of changes the game. I think this could be first to 95. This is not your typical Wisconsin team. They have no problem.
That matters for their success moving forward. They finally got that necessary buy-in on defense. Now, we understand that this team is not going to go out there and look like the Oklahoma City Thunder that leads the defense in multiple categories, but they understand that right now, when they actually buy into the roles and the schemes, J.J. Redick knows how to game plan, they can compete. Because offensively, we already know whether the game is clutch time, they're really solid there. You're seeing unselfish basketball there. I mean, you mentioned LeBron James diving on the floor. It was funny. He posted to Instagram, I think the little scab he had. He's like, I don't know if I'll be diving on the floor. But what I do know is he's going to be showing up in the help side and gathering rebounds. And the fact that he's locked in at the age of 41, that is contagious for the rest of the squad.
Also, I mean, they gave KD fits on Monday. They're doubling, blitzing him, fourth quarter. He was 1 for 5 in the second half. I mean, just terrible. He said he felt like he cost them the win. Tim, how much pressure is on him now as a primary ball handler?
I mean, 1 of 5 in the second half, and he said he felt like he was playing 1 on 5, the way that the Lakers were throwing a second defender at him and loading up behind that. And it's not the first time he's seen it. This has been a constant theme all season long. The Rockets struggling to close games, putting the ball in KD's hands at the top of the offense. Defense is forcing the ball out of his hands, and the Rockets falling apart behind that. And, you know, it reached a point where Kevin Durant the other night said maybe he just needs to get off the ball, let somebody else initiate the offense, go space the floor in the corner, maybe set screens, do something else. Now, the Rockets will have a key piece of their offense back tonight. Alperen Şengün, after sitting out Monday night with lower back pain, is off the injury report, will be back in the starting lineup.
Yeah, but still, I mean, we know there's no Fred VanVleet, there's no Steven Adams. All right, so let's talk about Şengün. Can he help KD tonight? I mean, what are you looking for from him, Chiney?
It's not the best option. This is not a someone that was built to be a point guard, but it is a solid option because if you think about the finish of the last game, the Rockets were in it. It just was that they couldn't buy a basket, and also Kevin couldn't really find his teammates. He had 7 turnovers. Alperen Şengün, ever since they realized that Fred VanVleet was not available, they've used him as one of those hybrid point guards. He might look a little unconventional. He might turn his back to the basket, bringing the ball up, but at least it takes some pressure off of Kevin Durant. And to me, that's the difference right here. They made the decision not to make a huge move, risk it all to try to pursue a championship by getting a point guard. I never really thought that the expectation, I'm speaking of the trade deadline, was for them to compete with the Oklahoma City Thunder, but they are more competent with Şengün on the floor, especially offensively. Lastly, Kevin Durant said, I am the offense. He absolutely is the offense, but he does need help, and Şengün will provide that.
Tim, thank you. Chiney, you mentioned that the rodeo is taking place in Houston. We actually have a major rodeo star coming up on SportsCenter, which is really cool. And Chiney is